in Gibraltar, the number 2 seed Ian White, a winner on the European Tour recently, of course, against Michael Smith, the number 15 seed, and a man who is perhaps got a new lease of life after coming through his opening match yesterday, and perhaps a new lease of life given the fact he is assured of his place in the European Championship finals in Göttingen next month. The crowd are playing their part as well. I think we're in for not a light-hearted encounter, Paul Nicholson, but you know, these two players know each other inside out. Michael Smith has got a really good record against his, I don't want to say roommate, because they're not roommates, they're sharing a penthouse apartment probably, but anyway, they know each other very well indeed, and Michael Smith not only having a good record, but he's got the vice-like grip on Ian White this year, with 3 wins out of 3 in 2019. How do you see this one playing out? Do you think that we'll see Michael Smith playing with a degree of confidence?
First leg, Ian to throw first.
Shackles are off.
Game on.
I think to a degree, yes. He was speaking to Dan Dawson yesterday after his win against Danny Noppert, which was quite comprehensive at 6-1. But the thing is, the pressure he put himself under yesterday after speaking to Dan was that he said it was a 125 grand game. Well, actually it wasn't. It was worth £1,000, and then it was worth whatever the first round prize is at the Euros. Now, you can't be putting that kind of pressure on yourself of £125,000 games unless you're actually playing that game 85. For that amount of money. I think today, to answer your question, he is playing with more freedom and he's got less on his mind.
57.
Well, he mentioned those numbers last night, actually. I bumped into him, had a conversation with him. He was, as you might expect, in a very relaxed frame of mind, but he did mention that £125,000 game, but he was relaxed. He was happy to talk about other things, including the grand final hopes of his beloved St Helens, and also his car, his dogs, his family life as well.
140.
Happy to show me a few photos of his family, which was very nice indeed to see. He was relaxed. He was in a good place, I thought, last night, Michael Smith, and he's in a good place once again, it seems, on the European Tour.
Ian White's in a very good place, starting with the 12 darter.
Second leg, Michael to throw.
I think he's got a few fish in his garden as well.
Yep.
Judging by what I saw of Ian White's garden on social media, I think it must have been about 18 months ago. Tell you what, that carpenter got a bit of money. Unless Ian did the work, which wouldn't surprise me. He's very handy. It's almost like Mr. Miyagi's backyard.
100.
Yeah, he's good chatter as Michael Smith. I've spent a lot of time with Michael in the last decade. He's very thoughtful. He's a nice young man.
He is.
Great to talk to.
Yeah, I enjoyed his company last night, actually. Ian White's second place on the European money list, £89,000 before this tournament. He had a £19,000 cushion 85. On Gerwyn Price, so it's likely that he will stay there. But just to reiterate the position at the bottom, Michael Smith came into this weekend with £9,000, guaranteed £3,000 this weekend, so that takes him on to £12,000. Better count back than Ross Smith, so he's above Ross Smith, who occupied, or still occupies, and will hold on to that 32nd place after Kim Huybrecht's defeat by James Wade 100. Earlier. So congratulations to Ross Smith, also through to the finals in Göttingen. His hard work on the European Tour this year has been rewarded.
Yeah, I think the credit card of Ross Smith will be getting hammered for a few hotel nights and a flight over to Göttingen. I think you got a flight to Frankfurt for that one, is that right?
Yes. Well,
100.
That's the closest one.
Great place to go and play darts, Göttingen. Hotel right next door.
Yeah.
And the old train station.
It's a stunning
factory.
Venue. It's one of my favourites on the European Tour. Just lends itself. The acoustics are superb. And there's a lot of history behind that building as well.
Oh, this would hurt. Tops. And that single's right in the middle. Worrying signs. And it was bound to go in. He looks right on it today as the number 2 seed.
Third leg in to throw.
He was mocking. Not so much mocking. It's a slightly strong word, but there's a bit of banter between these two on more than one front. They like to have this rivalry about ranking titles, don't they? And Ian is ahead
100.
with 12, and that grinds on Michael a bit. He thinks he should have more than Ian, but he doesn't. It's the thing. You've got to go out there and collect the silverware.
35.
Michael has got this one in the bank, though. He has won this title.
Yeah,
Ian has not.
2017. 2 years ago, Michael Smith beating Mensur in the final 6-4 after a string of 6-5 wins. over the weekend prior to that. Ian White had to come from behind for his win yesterday against Michael Rosenauer, but he was quickly into his stride, although not stunning stats for Ian White yesterday,
56.
but then again it didn't have to be. There were a couple of 20-dart legs in the mix there in a 6-1 win against Rosenauer.
Love how both darters are immaculately coordinated.
81.
If you look at the darts, look at the shirt, all of the branding is right. That's how darters should be these days. There's no odd piece
100.
out.
Once again, he's been in great form on the Pro Tour as well as Ian White of late, a semi-finalist and a finalist over the course of last weekend's Pro Tour doubleheader. Just underlining his
140.
very strong record on the floor over the last 2 years. Of course, last year he was the top dog on the Players' Championship Order of Merit.
140.
£52,500 alone in 2018 on the Pro Tour on the floor. Currently tied for 5th on this year's money list on £44,500. He's making a lot of hay, and he might make a bit more here.
30.
Oh, I don't think that last dart was thrown
70.
particularly well out of the hand. It seemed to come out sideways, and Michael Smith has got to figure out a way to get a double 10, and he does and
James
gets
on the third
there.
leg, Michael Smith.
It just never fails to amaze me how
Fourth
much
leg,
Michael
Michael
Smith
to the
knows the
reverse.
dartboard in such a quick
Game
amount
on.
of time.
Yeah.
As soon as he hits the 45, 9 out of 10 dart players, minimum, would go, what have I got left? And then figure out a way. It's almost like he knew it was going to happen. It was part of the plan.
Yeah, he's one of the most metronomic players on the tour, I think.
100.
Got a great darting brain.
And when it all clicks, he is great to watch.
Oh, yeah.
90.
It is. I've stood behind Michael Smith and had some great games with him. I think the last time I played him, we were 4 each, and I thought, I've got a chance here. It must have been, and no exaggeration, under 2 minutes later, I was defeated.
125.
And he hit a couple of 11 darters, and I just thought, you are just so good. You walk away just shaking your head thinking, how can I be as good as you?
64.
Mentioned White making that semi-final and final over the course of last weekend's doubleheader in Barnsley. He's not won a Players' Championship title this year, in fact, which is something of a surprise, but he has been one of the models of consistency.
99.
But his scoring last Sunday was just frightening, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just phenomenal. He posted 5 ton-plus averages over the course of the second day in Barnsley. There was a 115 average in his win over Steve West in the semi-final. And then he lost to Mencior in the final itself. There was a 9-dart leg for Ian White in that one. That was the 40th 9-dart leg of the year, by the way. We've had, I think, one more this weekend on the Challenge Tour.
Yeah, Cody Harris got one yesterday.
26.
Wouldn't surprise me if there's another one on the Challenge Tour today.
108.
But he had a 3-dart average of 104.44 over the weekend.
James on the full
Frightening,
flag,
and
Michael
that's-
Smith.
A second leg to Michael Smith, who backs up that break of throat.
What was
Game
really
on.
interesting about that 108 from Michael Smith there is that he gets the 51 to leave 57. And then it's almost like he's going for the treble 17 again to leave double 3.
99.
Has got some fabulous ways of using the dartboard. I know he likes to use the treble 18 to leave a bottom double if he blocks the
45.
60 on shots like I think it's 112. Yeah, he goes 54 double 19. I always really admired that because that's something I would never do. And these two practice together so much that
100.
they're almost egging each other on in more ways than one. Not just in the title race that they have with each other, but we know Michael's standard
56.
of average that we have from him all the time. It's around that 100 mark. But they're always pushing each other to get something bigger. That 115 last week is testament to what sort of work Ian White puts in with Michael Smith.
140.
The other stat I liked as well that caught the eye last week with White was the fact that he won 44 legs last weekend, but 36 of them, 44 legs on the second day. 36 of them were in 15 darts or fewer. I mean, you talk about consistency, that is just alarming.
That's just world class, no matter how you put it. Try doing that at home when you're not playing against anything.
60.
Try and play it against the computer who's not as good as you, and try and put in that many 15 darters.
Well, he'll do well to get a 15 darter
100.
here.
And you require 102.
Team China from the JDC still sticking around to watch the darts. Good to see.
Yeah, great to see. More than welcome. 10 for double 16 for Ian White to get his nose back in front at 3-2.
86.
Not to be. Smith looking at
Michael
160.
160.
Not going to get there, but looking for the 120 with 2 bullseyes to leave tops.
64.
Should be 3-2 now, but no
60.
panic stations yet for Smith. It is on throw.
Game show on the 5th leg, Ian White.
Smooth
Sixth leg,
as you
Michael
like. It's a
to
16
Throphy.
dart holder throw for
Game
Ian
on.
White to lead 3-2. The winner of this to face the winner of our next match, which is on the way, Krzysztof Ratajski, the number 7 seed, against your Mannheim champion, Joe Cullen, number 10 seed. Joe Cullen said in the aftermath of his win yesterday, "I've got him. No concerns whatsoever about facing
60.
Krzysztof Ratajski. I'm not so sure.
Is that the exact words he used?
I've got him," is what he said.
I'm having him. I think that was the words. I
62.
thought, oh, I like that. I like a bit of spice. And we've already had a bit of spice with Ibrex and Wade. You might not have seen it on the stage. As you can see, Michael Smith, when he gets to a double, he ain't missing it.
Yeah.
93.
It's difficult to outscore Ian White these days because he is, well, I was going to say a bit of a diamond when it comes to the treble 20s and
95.
treble 19s.
5 legs in, we've had 3 ton plus finishes already. We've got a 12 darter from Ian White to start things off, a couple of 15 darters from Michael Smith.
140.
It's a good standard, as you'd expect from these two.
Yeah, Ian's always been a very solid player, even since the late 90s where he made the final of the
83.
Winners of the World tournament the last time it was run. But I think when he signed with a certain manufacturer and he almost trimmed a little bit of plastic off his flights and they were a little bit sharper at the top, his darts started to
100.
fly a little bit faster.
Michael,
And I think
21.
since he's used those flights, he's become a better player. This could be the break
57.
opportunity that Ian White has been waiting for.
108.
Well, we've seen Michael Smith take out the 108 today. Now it's the turn of Ian White to have a go at it.
Picture perfect 57.
Double 16.
92. Michael, you acquire 64.
Picture perfect until the final dart. Michael Smith looking at double 8 here.
Game show on the 6th
2 dart
leg,
combination.
Michael Smith.
It's a
7th
17
leg
dart
into the
holder
reverse.
throw for Michael
Game
Smith.
on.
And he's back on terms at 3 apiece. We've not had too many matches go the distance this weekend. This certainly has the ingredients of doing just that.
Well, very much unlike New York,
96.
we've only had one bagel. And that was
Yeah.
last night, Gerwin Price against David Francis. That was a very professional performance from Gezi.
Yeah, he quickly
100.
quietened the crowd and just got into his straps very quickly there.
I was very impressed with that 64 out for Michael Smith because the pressure was on there. Ian White waiting on double 8 himself. This game is just littered with quality.
182.
Yeah, just to remind you, Michael Smith, 3 wins out of 3 this year against Ian White.
54.
One of them was in the Masters as well. They've not met on the Euro Tour since last year. They met in the semi-finals of the German Darts Open. Smith winning that one as well by 7 legs to 1. That was when Max Hopp did for him in the final.
105.
Seems like a long time ago that now. 18 months ago?
Yeah, thereabouts. April of last year.
100.
And they also met in the
120.
quarterfinals of the German Darts Masters on the Euro Tour 3 years ago, and again it was Smith who came out on top. He's got a great record against Ian White, but it's under threat today.
Surely top left.
80.
Ooh, bent the wire. Ian White winning the bullseye in the back is proving to look like
49.
a bit of gold dust that he might need.
40.
Tops it is for a 13 then.
Game show on the 7th
Always
leg,
going to be going in
Ian White.
first start. Sometimes you can just
He
feel
played
it.
Michael to throw first.
And the
Game
difference in when Phil Taylor was constantly putting in huge averages in the
57.
late 90s and early 2000s was the fact that he was hitting more 13 darters than anybody on the planet. Those same guys might have left themselves 40 after 12, but they'd be taking it out in 15 on the third dart. Phil used to always take it out on the first
96.
shot. That's why his averages were always so good.
Well, Ian White's average is very good at the moment, 101.7. There's a good,
96.
well, more than 10 points in the averages right now as well, but the reassuring thing for Michael Smith is that when he is getting chances, he's taking them. 3 from 3 so far. The obvious downside to that is if he does lose sight of his finishing, it could quickly unravel.
100.
He has had in the past, Michael Smith, a European Tour match where he's had 100% over the 6 legs. It was in Graz, the first time we were there. I can't remember off the top of my head who he played that time, but I remember distinctly that he went 6 for 6 on the Saturday. I've seen that, of course, this year with Keegan Brown, who did it against Michael van Gerwen.
Yes, he did.
100.
Well, Ian White has a chance here to wrestle the darts from Michael Smith, but Michael Smith looking to get back into pole position here with a ton 40. I think this one is still in the balance.
I'm trying to say this is a bit like Charles Leclerc against Lewis Hamilton, who's jostling for pole.
More of a Senna Prost man myself.
I don't know, it's pretty controversial in Russia today, apparently.
129.
Seems to follow it around, to be honest. F1.
Michael looking to leave double 15. Oh, he said stop it.
140.
I love some of
You require 76.
the bits of language that we're hearing from the players today. It's mensua, it's stop it, it's double 8.
It's a great observation from Michael Smith, because he knows that there could be some real damage done here by Ian White. And there's the breakthrough. Broke earlier on for a 2-0 lead. He's got the break again, but crucially now it's 5-3, and Michael Smith has to win 3 legs without reply. And you just suspect that that will be a very tall order.
I do like stop it as a good one. I'm going to think of that the next time I'm in that position. Someone like Matt Kuchar on the PGA Tour, and he hits a poor shot, he'll say, gosh darn it.
It's succinct, it's to the point, and everybody gets it.
It's a bit polite.
182.
There's a guy in that
First
shot.
180 of the match, by the way, for Michael Smith.
No way.
White's had 2.
Don't say that for Michael Smith very often.
Dave Chisnall, the man
85.
threatening all sorts of records with his 180s this weekend. He had 5 yesterday, 5 more today. Back-to-back ton-plus averages for Chizzy as well. Things are looking good for the
60.
number 4 seed.
Yeah, Chizzy is in a good place. I was having a chat with him a couple of hours ago. He's loving those new darts, and he believes that he's just going to get better with them. When he's found himself in the quarterfinals, the first tournament he's used them.
140.
Got to be perfect from here, Michael.
Yeah, far from it.
43.
43. There was a really good chance to get down to a finish first on the White throw, just to put a little bit of pressure on Ian White. And you suspect that Ian White, with one more treble here,
100.
well, even a ton, it's very much his match to lose now.
It is. I'm almost surprised he didn't go 25 or bull for the last shot, but he's going to be under it. And how did he get that in? What a beautiful dart from Bully Boy to really put that pressure on the 93.
Beautiful darts from Bully Boy, but it may be too little too late as far as the number 15 seed is concerned. Ian White's 74 away, and he's going back upstairs.
57. Michael, you require
Great effort.
38.
It's not usually Ian White's style to go double-double. White needs double 6.
Michael Smith.
What an interesting route. He had us beat. Almost had me beat. But he has beaten Ian White in that leg.
Game on.
I think he had that thought out before he'd even thrown at the double 19.
100.
Well, it may just be that Michael Smith has been given a new lease of life here. Waited a long, long time for a Smith 180, and there's another one.
Well, in a matter of 15 seconds, Ian White has lost the leg by missing double 18. He's actually lost the match.
100.
Well, not yet. But then Michael Smith, like a whirlwind, takes out 38 in dazzling fashion.
57.
All of a sudden, it's back on throw.
Yeah, a missed match start for Ian White on double 18 after that double-double combination, or attempted double-double combination. And I said it had all the ingredients of a match that was going to go the distance. Thought I was going to have to eat my words for a moment or two, but Michael Smith looks to be in a much better place once again. And he may well get 6 starts from 142. Let's see what White can post here.
He's using the board a little bit more intricately
41.
in the latter stages of this match, Michael Smith. He's just done a
42.
double switch on 17s, which you don't find very often. He was actually going for 4
102.
treble 17s to lead tops from that position on the previous visit. Now that's what you call darting thinking of another galaxy.
And that is what you call another piece of seamless, sublime approach play from Michael Smith as well. Again, there was just that flowing rhythm about it.
140. Michael, you require 40.
Tops for 5 all to take us all the way. Double 10.
30.
Well.
Here you require
I really thought we were going all the way,
86.
but it may well be that Ian White can tidy things up here and now. 86 away. Treble 18 to leave double 16. And a 6-4 win
Game.
for
Shot.
Ian White, the number 2
And
seed.
match. Ian
And
White.
a 2-time winner on the European Tour this year on